Fuck off, Daddy. Fuck you. No more games. No more video games. No, I'm not gonna do the PC stream. You can go fuck yourself. Hello, everybody. It's me, Goobly Floobles, Zaddy Decayed Andy, pre-Moonbase 2 show. Yeah, I did a stream earlier where we looked at the Xbox stream thingy that they did, and also, unfortunately, the what was it called? The future video games. Holy shit. Future video games showing was absolute fucking dog shit. I couldn't believe how fucking dog shit it was. And I was like, oh, there's the PC one that happened as well? The PC one couldn't be that bad. And then I've like dropped in and watched about 20 minutes of it, and it's also utter dog shit. I'm like, how is money being funded into these awful, awful things? Nightmares, I tell you. I could not believe my little eyes. My tiny little mind was shattering under the weight of just dog crap video games. Generic, crappy games. That was the problem. They're all generic as shit. Like, you've seen one, you've seen them all. It was horrifying. Horrifying. It rustled my jimmies, it did. Oh boy, did it rustle my jimmies. That was is that why you went out to feed your dog, a dog which you don't have, as far as I'm aware? And I saw you playing on Zenless Zone Zero when the stream was over, Daddy. Is that what you mean? Where's the Wawa advertising? That's what I want to know. Well, they already did that on the more important shows. Do you? You have a dog? I didn't know you had a dog. You need to send me a picture of your dog then over Discord at some point. I didn't know you had a dog. You know, it's going to be weird if it's not Shiba Inu. Especially, you know, because I judge you based on your images that you use. Her name's Zenless Zone Zero, you fucker. Piece of shit. Well, yeah, I got a dog. What do you call your dog? Zenless Zone Zero. Woo, woo, woo. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we got news to talk about today. Apparently there's I'm going to mention this as well when we actually start the Moonbase 2 proper. There's a stream on like, what fucking day is it? Like Tuesday or Wednesday for Transformers. And I'm sure a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking, or at least Megatron, is going to be like unveiled there. And they're going to be like, oh, we're so annoyed that we didn't get to unveil our figure at the right time, because they never do. Good old Hasbro. But let's make sure I've got the screen in the right place. Yes, pretty much. That'll do. All right. I think it's Muzak time, and then we can get rolling in the poo, as one does. Okay. That's music time and poop. Have a good Transformer. Thank you, Daddy. Have a good Zenless Zone Zeroing.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 Poopcast for this week of June. Yes, June. Hey, it's just me alone, and that's because we got toys to talk about, at least news. There are toys here, thankfully. There is going to be a Hasbro Pulse Thingamadoodah stream on Tuesday or Wednesday, where I think some of the toys that I talk about, specifically Megatron, are going to be unveiled there. I'm hoping new stuff will be revealed there as well, but who knows? Who knows? I guess I'll figure it out on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm hoping they do have new stuff, because it means then we'll have double news show. Otherwise, you know, it'll be me and Daddy, not me and Daddy, me and Big D. And we'll be talking about the movie toy line. Oh boy, the 07 one. Won't that be a treat? Damn, that's nearly 20 years old, that toy line. In 2 more years, that first Transformers live action movie toy line will be 20 years old. And that isn't that fun to think about. Consider that when you're turning into a pile of dust, like I am. So we're going to start off with, I think the only bit of third-party news that we have this week, at least that I'm covering. It's New Age Toys are doing the H65 Keaton. Not Michael Keaton, but maybe a reference to him, I suppose. It's legend-scaled hoist. We've got images of him. We have info on what he comes with, such as a hammer raw, a arm cannon, 4 interchangeable hands, not pairs of hands, but hands, and the head of the builder, the head of Autobot X as well, the builder figure that we're slowly piecing together if you're going through these steps. There's also the EX version, which is the toy deco version of the toy, because that's how we do. So looking at Hoist, I think I would have not done him in this kind of very dark green. I think it might have lightened him up a little bit. But the yellow is nice and poppy. The Autobot X head is okay. In terms of hands, he has closed fist hands, a set of closed fist hands, a set of open hands, slapping hands, and then the cannon and the hammer thing. So yes, 4 in total, but only 2 actual pairs of hands. He transforms into his little truck mode. Welcome, Simon Tang. I hope you're doing well this evening. The hammer looks a little bit underwhelming, but that's fine. I suppose it's in scale and it looks okay. The weird shot of him holding his tummy like he's pregnant. Fair enough. Not the action pose I would go for, but fair enough. And then we got some welding and other stuff. And then him with his best buddies, Hoist and Grapple. Inferno and Grapple. He's Hoist. I'm stupid. Welcome. Oh, yeah, we have a little scene with him giving Power Glide his shitty movie mask as well. That's quite nice. And then we have the Toy Deco version, which does have a new head to it. And apart from that, it's fairly similar. The yellow's been replaced with more of an orange. The more whitish gray on the legs has been replaced with a more metallic-y silver kind of look. The greens looks more similar. And we got the hazard stripes on him a bit more, and then more of the tampograph stickers across him. He's missing the hammer for this version, and he is missing the Autobot X head. So if you were hoping to get Autobot X, you do have to get the cartoon version of these figures. But maybe I'm wrong. I can't imagine there's a huge rush to get Autobot X in general. Maybe I'm wrong, and Autobot X is somehow within the many years of being in the Transformers community, things have changed, and he has actually become some kind of a weird cult character, but I don't think that's the case. But yeah, Hoist, he's looking good. He'll be for New Age prices, so that's reasonably expensive, but you get effectively a masterpiece figure at a Legends scale. Cool. Will there be more repaints of this guy? I would suspect there'll be the yellow version that has the different head, if you know that one, the Diaclone, I guess it is. And then there'll be the... No, wait. Which is the Diaclone one? Is the yellow version the Diaclone, or is the blue one the Diaclone? No, I'm thinking of Trailbreaker. My bad. I'm sure there is a Diaclone version of Hoist. I just can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I reckon we'll get four of this guy, so at least another 2, maybe more, but at least another 2 at some point in the future. Wait and see how that goes. Apparently, Transformers 40th anniversary. They're doing the Selection Lio Convoy official release date is coming along. Hello, Music Man. I believe the blue is Diaclone. Is there a blue? I thought I was getting confused with Trailbreaker. No, Trailbreaker, Trailcutter, because Trailbreaker Cutter also has a blue version as well, right? I think. I get more confused with the Diaclone versions because I don't care about the Diaclone versions. Because they're way more generic-y generally. No, wait, red. Yes, yeah, that's it. Good call, Music Man. Yes, that's right. Yes. Hoist has the red version with the Tampo hazard stripes on it. I can't remember if it has a different head to the toy deco. It might not, but I think this is guaranteed that one will be done. Yes, there'll be at least that one. Maybe they'll do a translucent one as well. Anyway, 40th anniversary selections convoy. Apparently there's a release date. Wait, what? Wait, let me read this, because I'm feeling like I'm losing my mind. Let me read this blurb. This extensive retool of the Legacy Leo Prime, so the one that's already out, mold was originally... It was originally planned to be in February when it came out, but got postponed. So now we have, I guess, the new release date, which will be in late August for this version. I can't remember what they said extensive was about it. I don't think they... Yeah, I think it's... Is it generous to say extensive? I mean, they did effectively redo the entire lion head portion, but I think that's all they did. I don't know. Extensive seems a bit of a stretch to call this, but okay. We found out it's coming out in August, so if you were wanting this, I don't know if pre-orders are still up for it, but if you have your pre-orders in, don't worry. It's coming just at a later date. It was delayed for reasons and shenanigans, which is fine and dandy. We have images of the Masterpiece G-18 hauler, which is snot green grapple, the classic Japanese repaint of this character. Do you like the grapple mold? If yes, do you want it in snot green? If yes, this is for you. If you don't want snot green grapple, probably not for you. There's not obviously a lot to talk about here. He has is there some new parts to it? I don't know if it's a new part, but he does have a scoop, so you can replace his hook for it's the claw from Toy Story, or you can replace it with a little plant pot scoop thingy, which I don't know if that was a new part or not. He has a gun. He has a different replaceable front brow, and then 3 faces. Again, not anything too interesting to talk about here. Green, he come. All right? Okay, next up we have as far as I'm aware, another new Takara dramatic series figure. This time it's the Capture Series Reflector and Thundercracker and Crimzeek for some reason or another. So this is the Siege Reflector. If you remember all the way back to Siege, I think he's in more toy accurate colors, and then he's given a bit more oomph and a bit more life with a load of parts to actually make him into a camera. I don't recognize the Crimzeek. Does it say it doesn't say where the Crimzeek is from, but the last time I saw Japan doing a Crimzeek, it was for Masterpiece 3, which was Megatron. I don't know. Either way, yeah, I'll say that the Reflector originally was not a great figure. I don't remember if you could make him into the camera. You can correct me, chat. But now you're going to be able to for that classic bit in More Than Meets the Eye when Reflector transforms into a camera and Thundercracker takes a picture of him, with him, not of him, but with him. So it is once again the Earthrise Thundercracker. Cool. You know, this figure, or this mold has really been dragged through the mud. Well, it's not been dragged through the mud, but it has been used a lot. I think we are slowly getting closer and closer and closer to classic Starscream amount of uses for this mold. It is getting a little silly, and since this is effectively that figure again, but a little bigger. The insanity it's a bit much for me. I don't know if this is vastly different from previous Thundercracker releases, but yeah, okay. I think the selling point here is the cartoon accurate version of Reflector and the camera parts to make him a pretty solid, nice looking camera. To be honest, it looks good. If you don't have this Reflector in any form, this looks like it'd probably be a good version to get for him. Crimzeek, well, he's sure there, isn't he? You know. Oh my god, it's Tourist Thundercracker. It's the Killing Joke Thundercracker. All he needs is the Hawaiian top, the sunglasses, and Barbara Gordon with a shot out spinal column. It's the perfect one. And then what he'll do is he'll take Jim Gordon and obviously strip him naked and put him on that weird carnival ride. Everyone's favorite part of Transformers Batman lore. Yeah, okay, it's not crazy. I think it's okay for a little set. I mean, I don't really fully understand the purpose of the dramatic capture series of we've had like the Megatron, the the Siege War for Cyber, Earthrise Megatron with the Starscream, with the Shockwave together with a seat. We've had, what was it? Optimus Prime, Jazz, and Teletran 1, or something like that was another one. It was something similar like that. So I don't really know why these exist. They're for the Japanese market, obviously. And I'm pretty sure those figures have already been available in Japan, but okay, cool. Yeah, it's fine, I suppose. It's nothing crazy. So that's something. New wave for the Wild Kings. I want to say Kings, but it is Wild King. The weird kooky series from Japan for the kids, but is still rather expensive. So Wave 3 was announced. We have repaints of the Optimus Prime mold. If you've not seen the images, if I tell you they're doing a repaint of Optimus Prime for Japan, you can probably guess and have a pretty solid assumption of which version it's going to be. This one, we'll just get it out of the way with it, is the Nemesis Prime version. So I think the colors on this look a lot better than the original release. The original release had the weird yellow windows, which clashed with the red on the chest. Looked a bit on the odd side. So I think it's a cohesive, like, bits of colors placed on a figure. I think this looks nicer. I think it brings it together a little bit on the better side. He does still have the very derpy vehicle mode, you know. But the robot mode, I think, does look better. Music Man says, DC X Transformers Killing Joke, Joker as Thundercracker. Ooh, well, technically, you could do Thundercracker as G2 Thundercracker. No, Action Master Thundercracker, right? That could kind of work. And some variation of RC. Yeah, there's a few RC figures, so you've got your choice because they've remolded or repainted those ones a huge amount of time. So yeah, why not? Hell, why not, right? But yeah, Scourge looking good, but he's still not posable. But that's not what this line is about. Yeah, again, you have a side-by-side between the original Optimus Prime and this one. I just think this one looks better. You know? It still has the issues of it being kind of a gimmick-ridden toy. We have new figures as well. Do we have the names of these new figures? Energy Beast Abyssal Rain. That's a different one. Nemesis Prime comes with Lava Mulator. I don't know how that would be in Japanese. And then Shadow Megatron, who we'll get to, comes with Frost Saber. So Abyssal Rain. So this is Lava Mulator, which is, I assume this is Lava Mulator, who is Bullman, a Taurus, if you will. I assume he transforms in a similar fashion to all of them, because that's how these guys work. Got a new head sculpt. The color scheme, instead of being red, it's more of a burgundy kind of color. Burgundy with grayish brown. Looks okay, not crazy. I like the head mold for the robot mode. That's pretty good. He's got little bull horns on the side of his head. He has an expression as well. Hasbro, take notes. Please start sculpting your toys with expressions. That would be appreciated. Japan can do it, so can you. You can remove the axe, which is a tail, of course, and the bull head, which is just an extra piece which you can slop about. We have Prime as the Scourge with his Nemesis mode. The hand. It doesn't so much have a hand as he just has a stump. You know, there is no fingers. It is just if you cut your hand off at the wrist, that's kind of what it looks like. Prime's left with, or Nemesis Prime is left with. Then we show a few images of him combined, the Nemesis Prime with long. I know it's not long rack; it's like light rack, whatever. It's okay. Megatron. The Shadow Megatron is, I guess, kind of harking back to like animated Shadow Assault Megatron or whatever he was called. So the color scheme on this one is primarily black and then with like purple and gold highlights. I don't know. I think I prefer the original version of the Megatron, classic Megatron colors. These are fine. If we'd gone for G2, that would have been a bit cooler, but, a bit more eclectic, I suppose, for the taste. Color scheme wise, he still turns into a slightly awkward boxy tank, but again, for the price or the style of figures that these are, fine. I think his mode looks a lot better than the Prime mode, at least. And then we have the saber-toothed tiger dude, who's primarily blue. Again, a nice face sculpt. No real crazy expression on it this time, but fine. Looks solid, looks interesting. I think these are quite cute little figures. I wish that there were accessory packs, or that they came with extra bits to go into the ports, because these things comes with a lot of like post and ports kind of thing, or at least ports. So it feels like we need to get some more things to interact with the numerous ports on these limbs and accessories. These limbs and not accessories, these limbs, I wish had more accessories or something to make them pop a bit more. Combined with the Megatron, we have the Saber-Tooth Tiger and the red T-Rex thing, which look obviously quite nice together, as they would. They got the Stegosaurus. That's the Abyssal Rain dude. I think is this a repaint? Haven't we had a Stegosaurus? I can't remember. This is looking quite nice, though. I'm not sure about the head. Hang on, we'll just look at the Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus itself, nice. It's in dark grayish blue, and then has a nice purple to it. So color scheme wise, it's nice. The head sculpt is Nightbird-ish, I suppose. Kind of Nightbird-ish. A little bit on the pointy side. Like the head is actually a little bit pointy for my liking, but it's okay. I prefer the Stegosaurus mode than the actual robot mode, to be honest. But yeah, combined together is fine. The Stegosaurus top part with a spinal shell plate bits on, you can use that as a kind of, I don't want to say a shield, but let's say a buckler. You know, a small little shield that would kind of just go over your forearms, a buckler, rather than a full-on proper massive shield. So there we go. We have something a little bit more interactable. So that's nice. And then we obviously have the images of the Nemesis Prime and Megatron kind of dolled up with more of them, with having a full set. Yeah, the line continues to be interesting. I want them to do a little bit more, but I suppose you got to get your repaints out as well, because it's a toy company, it's what you do. But it's nice to see it chug along. I'm sure the Cyberworld figures are going to be cheaper than these, but I think these are still going to be much better figures, or much more fun figures than the crappy, cheapo stuff that we've seen so far for Cyberworld. But that's just my opinion. I guess we'll wait and see once Cyberworld actually gets fully released. Next up, we have well, I was talking about Cyberworld, so why not look at the trailer? I haven't watched the trailer, so let's have a watch.
New program module activated.
There wasn't much to it last time. Have I not seen this? When was this? When did this come out? 30th of May. I feel like maybe I did watch this on my own. I did watch this. I did. I'm lying to you.
Till all are one.
Yeah, okay. So the Cyberworld trailer gave me a lot of vibes of Reboot. If anyone's alive or old enough to remember Reboot, why do I say that? Primarily because it's asking players to be ready. So when I hear players have to be ready and they all rush into a certain area, in my eyes, to me, that says Reboot. We also see Scorponok in the kind of red lit thing, which suggests this is like a raid boss game mode thing, as we have Megatron lined up with the Autobots as well, so everybody's together. Actually, no, this is Grimlock. This is Megatron? Well, this is Prime, this is Bumblebee, this is probably like Elita 1 or something. Either way, I don't know how the show's going to pan out, but we got a new Transformers show coming. Hopefully I'll be more invested in it than the previous ones, but I have a feeling since it's only on YouTube, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath, to be honest. As the cartoons at the moment feel just kind of like shovelware for the cheapo toy line, from my perspective. But there you go. Not much to say on Cyberworld. It is just not much of a trailer because there's not much to get your teeth into, but it's something, I suppose. More in-hand images or new in-hand images, I should say, of Star Convoy, the new Titan class figure, the hot rod, alongside the Omega Prime, the recent HasLab. I keep forgetting that Star Convoy is going to be a Titan class figure, so they show him next to Fort Max, who's also a Titan class, so they were both similar prices, and he's definitely not as big as Fort Max. I am mildly concerned about him. He's smaller than... Fuck, what was this one? Predaking. Whatever era Predaking came out in. Was it Combiner Wars? I can't remember. No, it wouldn't have been Combiner Wars, would it? I don't remember. I don't care. He stood next to Predaking, and he's smaller than the Predaking as well. Yes, he does come with a Legends figure as well, but I don't think that will make up for it. I am concerned for this figure because Star Convoy is notoriously not much of a transformer. At least the original version of him, because I have it, and he doesn't do a lot. His gimmick was he had a big old tank tread that was activated by batteries. You know, it was you clicked a switch and it was motor powered. That was his big gimmick. It wasn't very interesting. So hopefully this Star Convoy will have a bit more oomph to the transformation. But like again, that I say, mildly concerned, especially for the price. We'll see. Music Man says, "Oh boy, prepared for the Black Zarak repaint." Well, I mean the image that we saw from a while ago of that toy was in blue and orange. So they're doing I guess they're doing the Cyber World version, which is blue and orange. Then they're going to be doing the G1 version potentially, and then maybe a Black Zarak as well, I presume. Simon says Titan class. Yeah. I know he's Titan class. Unfortunately, Music Man says that was a Power of Primes Predaking. Oh, thank you. That's what it was. Power of the Primes. That's what it was. That's right. I didn't love Power of the Primes as a line. It was a really rough time. I didn't even get this. I got the knockoff version of this. Oh, Commander class. No. Star Convoy is not Commander. Is he Commander class? I'm pretty sure I saw him priced at £150. And I think... Yeah. Commander class in the UK is priced at £89. So he's not Titan class price. He's not Commander class priced. He's a different price point. At least currently that they've got on like In-Demand Toys and other places like that. He's going for £149, I think. And I think Titan's classes have now moved to like £200. So I'm not sure exactly where this guy's fitting in. But even then, £150 for this is steep. Unless the price changes when it officially gets announced, is what I mean. Got rumors and all those flimbles and bimbles. So we may as well have a look at them. Okay, so we have a midweek surprise. I'm going to just read this because of all the blurbs. So we got a midweek surprise courtesy of JT Prime 17, who does a lot of the leaks. Some explosive, this is their wording, not mine, new 2026 figures in addition to the ones we've already gotten earlier this year. So these might be, I guess, announced or have 2D images showing on Tuesday or Wednesday, potentially. That would make sense. They might not, of course. Interesting thing here is they're rejigging the typical Titan/Commander setup. I guess that makes sense with Star Convoy. And shockingly, even a slight preview of what's storing us for of 2027. I read that very quickly there in my head as 2077. And I was like, I'll be dead by then, hopefully. I don't need to know what's coming in 2077 for Hasbro. Despite that being a very long time away, it's not that long away. It's a year and a bit. It's not that long. Year and a half away, in fact. It's really not that long, including Studio Series stuff. So, okay, notes. No Age of the Primes Titan in 2016. That's because Studio Series is getting the first Titan instead. Age of the Primes will have two commanders instead. Okay. Comics is being introduced to Studio Series in 2027. So I guess IDW Comics? That would be... I think that would be the smart thing to do for doing IDW characters or molds for characters. The cheap one would be to do like Marvel comic characters, so you have a Marvel comic colored version of a character, which we've seen in the past them do. That would be the cheap version of doing stuff, and arguably the lame way. The more interesting way to do things would be to do IDW. I suppose what they could do is they could do a mix of here's the comic stuff. It's going to be an amalgamation of IDW comic stuff, Marvel comic stuff, and Skybound stuff as well. They could do something like that. Well, I guess we'll see. Leader Hound, Swoop, SLP Prime. SLP. I don't know what SLP Prime would be. Fort Max and Soundwave are super early 2027 listings. Leader Hound? Leader Hound? Hound. That's bold. If that's true. Oh, I'm an idiot. Movie Hound. Movie Hound. I'm like, G1 Hound as a leader? What the heck? No. They mean, what was it? Age of Extinction Hound. Okay, that makes sense. Big chunky fat man. Okay, yes. Okay. G1 Hound? What the heck? No. Okay, I see Music Man says IDW Megs using the Studio Series 86 movie Megatron would be great. I think I saw people using they showed like an image of like a close-up of the Fallen's legs, whatever he's called for the Age of the Primes. Using a zoom in of his legs and saying the shins on him and IDW Megatron are similar. And to be fair as well, you've got to get a use out of that mold. So maybe not Studio Series Megatron. It's not a terrible idea, don't get me wrong. But I think you need to do a lot to make that more IDW-y. You know what I mean? Where someone might have caught the fact that it does have a very similar kind of shin. The Fallen has a similar shin. Megatronus Prime, there we go. Megatronus Prime has a more similar shin, so they might go with that instead. And they'd have finally a use for that mold. Maybe. Okay, Age of the Primes. Voyager Swindle, who I feel we knew about. But fair enough. Slowly getting on towards Bruticus, which is cool. Voyager VOY, so that has to be Voyager Vector Prime. That's a re-release, right? They're not going to make... There's no way they're making a new Vector Prime. No way. We only just had Vector Prime. It has to be a re-release. The only thing that makes sense. We got Deluxe Jalopy. 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 Am I a more? What the fuck's Jalopy? Hang on. I've got to Google what fucking jalopy could be. Okay. Transformers. Jalopy. Oh, okay. Okay, so jalopy. Okay, jalopy seems to be a weird repaint of Jazz. From the comics. What the fuck? It's a pretty ugly version of Jazz as well. This is not a handsome Jazz. No, but at least by my eyes. What the? Why? Jalopy. Autobot, a grease monkey. Do we have it? We don't. Oh, there we go. That's Jalopy. So Jalopy is Jazz, but the top part of his chest is gray. His shoulder and forearms are gray. Sorry, his forearms are blue, baby blue. And then like bumper to cock is baby blue as well. And then thighs are orange. What the hell? First appearance Transformers number 12. Okay. Weaknesses. Jalopy is adept at fixing others, but never maintains himself. He breaks down regularly in vehicle mode as a result of this. I thought they were taking the piss. I mean, they are kind of taking the piss by doing a fucking... Because it's going to be Studio Series Jazz, obviously. Okay, Jalopy be coming. Joyride. Joyride's the Power Master, God Master, right? Right? I'm gonna check. Fuck, Jalopy has thrown me, I'll be honest. Transformers Joyride. Yeah. Joyride's the God Master, Power Master dude. Come on. Where's my website? There it is. It's this guy. Music Man says, why? Do you mean why Jalopy? Or do you mean why do I not know Jalopy? I'll answer both questions. Why Jalopy? It's a repaint. Why do I not know him? Because I don't read the Marvel comics, and I'm not insane. I'm not crazy. Just make him a Junkion. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So okay, them doing Joyride is neat, or neat enough. That's fine. Tailgate, which one? There have been a few tailgates. It would be weird to do a IDW tailgate here. They might do, but if we're going to be doing like comic stuff in the future for Studio Series, then maybe delay it till that. Otherwise, it's just a redo of a cliff jumper, I suppose, right? Point Blank. Oh my god, are they really re-releasing Point Blank? That would be fucking nightmarish. No, wait, Point Blank. Is Point Blank the one they've already done or not? I'm not good with the Autobot Target Masters. Yeah, they've done Point Blank. It was absolute dog shit. It was the Legacy Point Blank figure. It was dog shit. I know we're getting the yellow one, which is Sure Shot. But if they redo Point Blank, like they fix it so it's not a dog shit figure, I could be invested. I could get interested. But the figure's bad. It's really fucking bad. Just re-releasing it, good luck. Okay, they're doing Fangry. That's it. That's interesting, especially with the story we've got next up. My question is, okay, so you're doing Fangry. Okay, so where's Cancer? You need to put out Cancer as well. And where's Bullhorn or Taurus? We know where he is. Again, we'll get to that in a moment. Armada Megatron, they're going to do for leader scale. I guess they're just re-releasing it. Put it out again. And then for Generations Prime, it says Unicron Soldier. Whatever Unicron Soldier means. I guess that just means a figure that's styled to look like Unicron, but is just effectively meant to be an avatar, so it won't turn into a planet, I guess. So they can do a Unicron figure, but not at a, ridiculously big scale. I assume that's what that means. What else would Soldier Unicron mean? I don't know. Liege Maximo, that's the big bird dude, right? That we've seen already. Liege Maximo. I'm probably spelling this wrong. Oh no, Liege Maximo is the Loki version, the Loki Transformer from the 13. Okay, that'd be interesting to see, because again, it's like the Loki dude has an interesting look to him. I don't know what you make him transform into really, but if they keep it like the comic, that could be cool. An issue with the figure will be, how do you do his cape? Because he has a very noteworthy cape. And usually with Transformers and like material kind of capey, most of the time capey looking things, they don't really pull it off for obvious reasons. So, and which version do you do? Because there's this weird, gigantic, super evil version of him as well. I imagine you do the IDW standard version of him, right? That would make the most sense. A leader scale, probably for the best. That would make sense. And then for Commanders, we've got Onslaught, which again, we kind of knew about. And then for the Commander class number 2, it has nothing. So we are getting 2 Commander class figures for Rise of the Primes, which they mentioned, but who knows what the other one is. That's up in the air currently. I think more Commanders versus Titan figures is probably for the best as well, personally. But yeah, we'll see. The Commanders could be lower as well, if you ask me. Age of the Primes exclusives. They've got Retro Wheelie. What does that mean? Does that mean a brand new wheelie? I don't know. No. Would these be the retro carded figures? Because we've got a few retro carded figures. But what do you do for wheelie? Wheelie hasn't had a recent-ish figure, I don't think. They've got Outback, which you could do from Brawn, obviously. Generation Select Combiner doesn't say anything else. If you wanted to make a guess, you could say G2 Aerial Bots, or you could say G2 Menasor, maybe, or like Motormaster. Maybe that would be it. Motormaster still hasn't came out, and it's the only one I think now from the G2 Stonecons that hasn't had a release, and it just says here Combiner. So I guess that would make sense. It would make more sense for it to be Motormaster on his own than a full set of the current aerial bots who are not fully out yet. So I think that makes more sense. A Generation Select multi-pack. The multi-packs we've seen have been all over the fucking shop, so who knows what that crap could be. Generations DTC Timelines 4. I don't know. Generations Skybound Comics, I suppose. Again, I don't know. Generations San Diego Comic-Con 1, which I think is the thing we're going to be talking about in a bit, potentially. Generations Beast Wars Predacon Multi-Pack. Re-release of figures or new? I doubt new figures. Especially for a multi-pack, probably not. Maybe they're just re-releasing Kingdom figures in like a pack. I don't know. Red Alert Minicon pack. So does that mean we're going to get the Powerlinks Red Alert figure with the Minicon? You know, the really ugly repaint of Red Alert from Armada, who's like orange and grey and white. Who's a really fucking ugly figure. I know because I have it. I guess that would make sense. I mean, it would go along with the... what's he called? The Hotshot figure, who did the similar thing. I don't know if that was classed as a Minicon pack, but I'm guessing that's probably what it is. AOTP, Age of the Primes. I'm an idiot. Energon 4. I don't know. Music Man says retro reissue like Starscream. You think it's that stuff? Because the retro, like, those figures seem to have stopped. I'm thinking the retro carded figures, because there are a few of them. Because there's the retro carded gears that you can buy at the moment that has the toy face rather than the legacy face. So that's what I was thinking there. Studio Series. It says Studio Series Titan. It says nothing else. Okie dokie. Studio Series Roleplay. That's all it says. Nothing else. Fair enough. Studio Series Leader Blitzwing, 86 Blitzwing. Logic would dictate that this will be the really crappy Legacy Blitzwing figure. Maybe it will be the crappy Legacy Blitzwing figure with modifications to make it better and not anus. Maybe. I guess the most basic version would be, he won't come with the fists, the giant inflatable hands that he has, and he won't have the big hands. He won't have the big hands, but he'll be in the correct color scheme, and maybe they'll fix some of the flubs with him. Kind of like what they did with Studio Series Springer, who I never bought, who I guess came out, maybe? I guess. Studio Series Leader Scourge from Transformers 7. Whichever one that one is, I don't care. It's another Transformers movie, rock and roll. Studio Series Cyclonus. So if you have Kingdom Cyclonus, time to throw that one in the bin, guys, because we're going to have, I guess, an accurate Cyclonus now. My big hope for the Studio Series Cyclonus is they remold the face. I've said for the longest time, the issue with that mold from Kingdom originally was the face mold was kind of janky and shit. So if we can get a good mold of that face, he's in not lilac, he's in the right purple, which companies have a hard time getting that purple down. Granted, the color schemes of Cyclonus and Galvatron are very up and downy. Sometimes Cyclonus is light blue. Sometimes he's very purple. Toys versions of him, again, for some reasons, he's lilac. You know, okay. So fair enough. 86 Cyclonus, he's coming. If you missed the Kingdom one, this one will be more accurate, seemingly. Voyager, Transformers 4, Optimus Prime, EV, the Evasion. So the shitty truck broken down Optimus Prime. I'm guessing they mean that one. Studio Series Deluxe Wheeljack, 86 Wheeljack. I don't know what you do for that, because we're going to be talking about it literally the next story. We're getting a Wheeljack for the Gamerverse, which is just the Earthrise one. Maybe they'll do a new mold for him, because it seems kind of weird to release that mold of Wheeljack for the Gamerverse and then literally release it again with a slightly different look. Unless they retool it and do a dead version of Wheeljack from 86, which they could do, you know. It doesn't say 2-pack, though. It just says Deluxe Wheeljack, 86. So, Generations, Studio Series Deluxe Transformers 4 Bumblebee, whoopie-doo. It's a movie figure. Transformers 1 Soundwave, that's a bit more interesting. So if you want a Bumblebee movie, whatever the movie was called. It wasn't Bumblebee movie. What was it called? Transformers 1. I got it. If you want Transformers 1 Soundwave for a deluxe figure, he's coming. We got Leader Swoop, who I thought was out. If it is, it's a repaint. If it's not, it's actually coming out. I don't know which it is. Leader Comics 4 Max. So this is part of the comic line. So what could Leader 4 Max be? Cynical Andy, being me, hello, I'm Cynical Andy. Cynical Andy says what that could be is a downscaled Titan class Fort Max. And they've done nothing to it apart from Control T and just shrunk it, right? Maybe at a slightly higher level, what they've done is they've used the transformation bones from Fort Max, from the Titans class Fort Max, and just made that figure, but smaller, but it has new parts. So it's not the same parts, it's new bits, so he's got a more accurate head, etc., etc. He's just smaller. But it's effectively the figure, just smaller. Or a more positive look would be it's a brand new mold. I don't know what it does to make it Fort Maxi. Like, are we talking like it says comic Fort Max? What does that mean? I don't think like. Are we talking IDW Fort Max, who turned into the weird like super tank? Are we talking about Marvel Comics, where he's just like I say the G1 version, but smaller with slightly different colors? I don't know. Then we have Studio Series Comic Soundwave. Once again, is this just a reuse of the Netflix Earthrise mold Soundwave in another different color scheme? Like, is this the purple version of Soundwave? Because I think that was a comic version of Soundwave, right? Where he's purple. Is it that? Is it a new mold for Soundwave? Is it an IDW Soundwave? Because we've got the term comics, it can mean a lot of different things potentially. For better or for worse. Okay. We got Transformers 5 Leader Studio Series Hound. This is the one mentioned that confused me before. We figured that one out. 86 movie. Oh, this is Leader 86 movie Sleep Mode Optimus Prime. So this is the Commander Optimus Prime, who most of you assume I have. But this is his gray repaint version without his trailer. So a much cheaper Optimus Prime without a trailer, which didn't do a lot. It's not that interesting. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Studio Series Leader Transformers, the 5th movie, whichever fucking one that is. Megatron, so another Leader Megatron from a movie. Cool. Studio Series Anniversary, 86 Leader Megatron, who we know about, who we're going to be talking about later, because that has to be the 86 movie leader Megatron who we knew about. Music Man, another dead Robo, Jesus, Wook. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. the only repaint of that Prime mold that I could be interested in at all would be Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, because there's a really good color scheme. Otherwise, I don't give a rat's ass, to be honest. Swapicons. I can't remember what Swapicons are, but here we go. We got Tarantulas and Archinia, whatever. Pterosaur and Laserbeak, Scorponok, Double Punch, Rhinox and Backstop, Ironhide and Ratchet. I can't remember what Swapicons are. I don't remember if they've officially been announced. I don't care. I don't care. Cyberworld, Soundwave, Deep Sea Explorer. When I see Soundwave, I think, yep, he's a man who goes to the ocean a lot. Ultimate Shockwave Dino. Ultimate Shockwave Pirate Ship. Scourge Pirate Ship. Ultimate Hound Yeti. What the fuck? Armored Echidna. Arachnid. I can't read. Armored Ratchet. Armored Megatron Drill. CC Cheetor. CC Jazz. CC Lockdown. Multi-Pack. CC Primal Classic. CC Optimus Prime. OP. Classic E. CC BB Off-Road E. What the fuck are these names? CC Megatron Bull E. I think that's the one that we've seen. I think CC are the figures that are not... Well, are they the quote-unquote deluxes? I don't know. Warrior class? I don't know. Armored Arachnid Classic. Armored BB Classic E. Armored Optimus Prime OP Off-Road E. And that's it. Now, obviously, for Cyber World, again, I don't care too much, and a lot of those names don't mean much, but I'm sure we've seen some of them. Some interesting stuff there. I'm interested to see what the second commander would be, though, for the Age of the Primes, though. That could be interesting, because we've already used up a slot for the Combiner. So do you do, like, Violent Giga? Do it. Make a Commander Violent Giga. Okay, so I mentioned it before. So some of these things have been kind of tickled at. So Target exclusive Studio Series and Age of the Prime figures are up for pre-order. So the worst fucking running series of, hey, do you like the Headmaster Juniors? Well, go fuck yourself, fans, says Hasbro, because you're going to have 3 different 4-packs to get these figures. Are these figures really cool? No. They are slight retools of Titan's Return figures. Okay. If you remember, it went all the way back to Buzzworthy. We had Buzzworthy. We had, I guess, Legacy was the last one. No. I can't remember what the last one was. It was probably Legacy of some kind. But this time, if you want to get horrible... You're also going to have to suffer with White Optimus Prime, the classic Optimus Prime, you know, the one that they made to kind of be a substitute version of the the Japanese one that they did, which I can't remember the name to. My brain is razzled at the moment. I apologize, chat. But it's the old school one, the 86, the 83 Optimus Prime, the old one with the articulation. It's that one. It's the white version of that. So it's Ultra Magnus. Woo! We also have a redo of Studio Series Bumblebee into Bump. So he has a new head. Cool. And then we have a redo of Legacy Animated. Excuse me, Legacy Animated Optimus Prime into Nemesis Prime colors. Interesting thing here is he has the faceplate head, which is the first time and only time currently that we have the faceplate head. So that's interesting. Music Man says, it a El Cheapo Missing Link. Thank you. Missing Link was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Missing Link. We also get some in their vehicle modes. We can see that Horrible is a really rough retool of Skull Cruncher, as he has the Skull Cruncher torso, and obviously hands as well. Remember, he's meant to be a bull. If we look at the head for this figure, I think it would be slightly confusing to think this was a bull, but I see people, I've seen a few, I hate to call them, a few fucking shills on Twitter being like, wow, they did, look how good the Optimus Prime is. I was flabbergasted that people praised the Optimus Prime. Why? It's white. It's a white, it's not even a repaint. It's just molded mostly in white. Right? That's hard to fuck up. You need to try to fuck that up. That is not something that is praiseworthy. I swear to God. Also, there's no way that you can be happy with how the Headmasters have been, the Headmaster Junior Decepticons have been released. It's been a long time to release these things. And if you wanted them, like you really wanted these figures that are not great retools of pretty old molds, you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get them. You're either going to have to pay secondary market prices on them or buy a 4-pack. That's really not great. You want Fangry on his own? Okay, you can get Fangry on his own. Does that mean we're going to get Cancer and Horrible on their own as well one day? Nope. They might just be putting Fangry out there for the people that are jumping on more recently. I hate these packs because it feels like there's maybe 1 or 2 figures most people would want. I don't think a lot of people are buying these 4-packs for the full set, to be honest. There might be a few. Maybe I'm blowing this out of the water, and there are way more than I'm actually giving it credit for. But honestly, I look at these packs and I go, no, these feel rough as a pack that people would want. So Studio Series are doing gamer or re-releases of gamer versions of their Gameverse. What was this? War for Cybertron, Optimus Prime, and Megatron. It promises these have been redecoed. Now, until we see these in hand or stood next to the original releases of these figures, I honestly can't tell what the difference is. Like, just looking at it now, I have no idea. I have no clue. I know that these figures have had QC issues in general and maybe weren't the best. Maybe these are things that might be fixed, hopefully. It would be a shame if that was the case, because it means the first adopters basically got a crappier version, and this is like the updated version. Yeah, I'm not sure what the repaint quality is like, but if you missed it, fine. We've also got the oh Jesus. We've got the Gamerverse version of Sideswipe from Devastation. And you're like, oh, is it a new mold? Why would we make a new mold when we could repaint the Earthrise Sideswipe again? Okay, so the really lame part is, and I saw someone mention this on Twitter, is obviously in the game, Sideswipe's headlights on his chest are different. You think, okay, they'll just make one new piece. That's not crazy. One new piece is all they'll do. They did not. Just to accommodate these headlights, they didn't do that. They painted the shape. So you have the standard indent for the headlights, and then they've got this white streak going upwards to give you the illusion that it is the headlights that the Gameverse version has. It is not. This is an incredibly lazy repaint on a mold that has been used numerous times once again. Let it die. It's lived long enough. Put the gun to the back of its head. I'm sorry, old Yeller. It's time to die because you've been around for a long time and been used many, many, many times over. It's time to stop. So this is a really bad that was a really bad repaint, to be honest, really bad. The next one up is Earthrise Wheeljack. I assume this one is the exact same one I have, or very, very, very similar to the one I have that came in the 5-pack. If it is different, it will be different purely in the tampographs for the vehicle mode, as it's barren as fuck. At the very least, if they had added on way more of the paint apps to make him look more like his vehicle mode, that would have been nice. But again, the paint apps would have been way too expensive. It's probably the most expensive things on toys, as far as I'm aware. This again is just like a, hey, there he is. It's Wheeljack. Yep. Do you have anything new going on? No. If you didn't get the one from the 5-pack and you wanted a fairly mediocre toy, I guess you could do it. Maybe. Oh no, they haven't. I was gonna say maybe they fixed the gap between the window screen and the doors. They have not. That's a shame. And even in the promo image, you can see there's the big gap, the classic gap that this mold is known to have. Jesus. Music Man says, it would be great if they gave the Lambo brothers their wings. That'd be nice, yeah. But nope, too much money to add. It's, you know, the annoying thing about it, Music Man, is this mold has been used so much. Give us something. Good Lord. You know, you've made your money from this mold by now. Surely you've made your money from this fucking mold. Feels kind of similar to the I don't think the Wheeljack's been used. It's not nearly been used as much, but in terms of like exclusives to what was it, Target? Are people going to rush out for these? I mean, there will be people that are like super jazzed, obviously, about it and are really happy. And I guess if you missed out on the side swipe and the Wheeljack, cool. But I can't imagine people that don't already have like side swipe at least. There's no way that you can have every side swipe at this point and then be like, well, I gotta get this one. There ain't no way. If you do, stop. Please consider spending on anything else. Even drugs at this point would be more wise than spending on this figure again. Next up, we have Studio Series Transformers 1 Elita 1, the deluxe figure. I'm guessing this is the first time she's been out. I'm pretty sure it's the first time she's been shown. She looks like a decent girl bot. She has a weird gun design, which reminds me of the sniper a little bit from Halo. The Covenant sniper, not the Marine sniper. Turns into the weird bike. Fine. Not the best alt mode. Has a lot of backpack. I wonder if we're going to have like an RC issue. It looks like she's got decent heel spurs, but it looks like there's a lot here hanging off of her back. A big old backpack. So I don't know how good that is, really. But the robot mode, at least from the front, oh, it looks like there's a lot of backpack. If you really look like under her, like her armpit, it looks like the backpack's gonna stick out a bit of a chunky amount, right? A little bit chunky. Is it the worst thing in the world? No. When it comes to big backpacks on toys, I think, chat, if you had a toy that had a big backpack, would you prefer that backpack to be a removable accessory? Obviously, this is one of those things where it's not possible because of how things transform. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, if you had the option to remove a big cube of back kibble to make a figure look smooth, and just obviously you could either peg it on the back and have it as back kibble, fine, or you could take it off and make the figure look smoother. Would you prefer that? Because I think I would personally. I would prefer like the option. If I wanted to take a backpack off, I think I'd like to go for that, personally. But then it's parts forming. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but it makes the figure look cleaner. Parts forming can be fine. Parts forming is only really egregious if the entire figure has to deassemble and then reassemble. Then we're not a Transformer at that point. You know what I mean? I think this will get redone or remolded. Probably, well, not remolded, sorry, recolored a couple of times. I could see this being done into Chromia at the very least, you know. They do like to milk the molds for the female toys instead of making multiple female molds, but maybe I'll be wrong. I don't think I will be, though. It also showed off Transformers 1 Starscream. Apart from the weird, like, off creamy whitish color that they've gone for his body, which I don't know if that's accurate. It looks odd. It does look weird. I'm pretty sure he was like silver, like more like his face. His face has this kind of bluish silver color. I'm pretty sure that's why his like limbs and wings were all meant to be kind of that color as well. But they've not gone with that. They've gone with this. Like I say, it's not white. It's almost like, I mean, it's not going to help you because you don't know what my walls look like. But it's almost like the color of my walls. My walls are a bit more on the beige, pinky hue, maybe. Very slight pink hue. Very slight pink hue. But this is definitely more of a beige, cream-colored plastic. The actual mold looks pretty good. It looks better than... what was it called? Oh, the Bumblebee movie Starscream. If you remember Bumblebee movie Starscream and the Tetrajet, that was pretty rough. I think this looks a lot better than that. A lot better than that. He does have his null rays, which you can plug on his shoulder. It looks like he has an extra goon as well, which looks like just another null ray. It looks... The shape of the gun is actually kind of weird. Yeah, because he has his arm null race, and then he has this very oddly shaped gun. I don't even know how to describe the shape of the gun. It's like the bottom part of it is part of his shoulder null ray wing. Words are hard. And then they've just stuck a big blue lump on with black sticks coming out to be a gun. It's an odd look. The jet mode, I like... oh, you can uncombine them. They're two separate things, so they can be two separate little guns. Okay, well, that would make sense why they look awkward together. Yeah, I do like the jet mode. The jet mode does have a lot of ass kibble, let's call it. His feet and hands are incredibly visible, which seems to be a little bit of a... It's a little bit of an issue at the moment with jet modes for Transformers. The legs and hands just they go eh. Should we fold away the hands? Well, if we fold away the hands into the, I was gonna say if we fold away the hands into the forearms, we're gonna have to have a gap in the forearm. But he already has a gap in his forearms for robot mode anyway. Maybe they're just not big enough. I guess I don't know. But yeah, we need more. We need more deluxe figures to have hands that can rotate inwards and like hide inside the forearms again. Make forearms great again. That's what people are going to be saying. I mean, this mold, if you don't like this version of the mold, give it a couple of months, maybe a year. We'll have Thundercrack and Skywarp. But they weren't in the movies, Andy. True. Well, maybe they were. But they weren't main characters in the movie. True. But when you have a Starscream mold... especially a G1E kind of Starscream, why would you pass up the opportunity for doing multiple repaints of him? You know what I mean? Because I think we even got a green version of that, an acid rain version of Bumblebee movie Starscream, Tetrajet dude. I'm pretty sure we did. But I like this more than the not RC figure, a Leader 1 figure. Still not crazy. Don't want to really invest in Transformers 1 because I didn't think it was a great film. I thought it was very middle of the road kind of movie. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible, just exists. Very shovelware kind of movie. So this really holds nothing for me, I'm afraid. We have images from Japanland, which they showed off it's not a 2-pack, the Deluxe Scavenger and Mixmaster. And it got me on the boat thinking, well, technically none of the Constructicons are out in the UK. I know they're out in America, because fuck you guys. And I thought to myself, since they're still not out here in the UK, and their release date is pretty much in line with Japan, do I just fucking buy them from Japan because they're £17? And if I buy a few things together, it might even out the postage. I'm thinking I might do that, to be honest. So again, Scavenger has a massive dong. Like he's packing, his waist area is humongous. So ladies, if you're after a Constructicon to pleasurize you, I suppose, Scavenger could be your guy. I will note a minor disappointment, not a huge one, nothing to write home about, but it looks like the scoop part on the end of the crane for Scavenger, that doesn't look like that moves. The actual arm does at 2 points, but the what do you call it? The scoop, the cup, the hand, the hand of the shovel bit, whatever you want to call that. It doesn't look like, at least from these images, that's going to move. Otherwise, yeah, I'm guessing this doesn't rotate either. The G1 toy. Not much to say. They show off the full Devastator because by the time that these are out, Devastator will be complete. I will probably get this figure because the Combiner Wars version of this was anus. I'm glad people are finally happy to say he's anus. He was a bad toy. I'm not sure I said he was bad when he initially came out. It took years later to be like, he's bad, and I'm glad I didn't buy him because he was ass. And even the even the Japanese version tried to fix many of the issues. Hasbro, multiple years later, came back and went, okay, we could do this better. So, yeah, Mixmaster and all that jazz, they're coming. Can't remember, does it say when about they're going to arrive in Japan or land? Let's click the Japanese link. Maybe it'll tell us. Because it just says, here's the images. Okay, Japanland apparently will begin Mixmaster on the 29th of November. So there you go. It's a little time away. No surprise, but that makes sense. We move on to the big bit of news. Hang on. Music Man says, wait a month. DNA design will fix that. To be fair, yeah. To be fair as well, they had they had 2 upgrade kits for Combiner Wars Devastator. I mean, I'm sure DNA kits are going to do at least 1 upgrade kit for Devastator. Surely. But this was a big bit of news that happened during the week. And I'm sure the people at Hasbro are really fucking annoyed that this was dropped. Who's shocked, though? You can't keep this under wraps. Studio Series 86 Leader Megatron was leaked. Images were shown, and full transformation was shown as well. Why am I saying they're upset? Well, obviously, as I mentioned earlier in the show, we have a Hasbro reveal thingy on like Tuesday or Wednesday. Clearly, this would have been... I think it's fair to say that this was going to be their big reveal of that show, right? Surely. And this is less than a week beforehand that they're like, showing it. I don't know what it is about Transformers, but Transformers seems to be the place for Hasbro to have all of their shit leaked visually. I don't think their Marvel figures don't get dripped like Transformers seem to. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because I'm not as deep into those communities, I haven't noticed, but it seems like Transformers gets leaked like fucking mad. And like I say, not just names. Names are fine, okay. Bit annoying for Hasbro people, but whatever. But when you get like full reveals of figures way beforehand, that must be pissy. So, neither here nor there. What do I think of the Megatron figure? Because we asked Big D yesterday. Well, did we ask Big D last week? I asked him, but I don't know if I asked him on stream. Either way, I think the robot mode is really good. I like the robot mode. I do have minor issues with it, but I think overall, it's a good Megatron. It's a very good Megatron. He seems to come with pistol Megatron, so if you want to have him in pistol form so Starscream can hold him, there is an accessory for that. He also comes with his Energon beam saber from the movie. It looks, that weapon looks a bit like a balloon thing. You know how you get like a balloon poodle and a giraffe? It looks a little bit like that, to be honest. Not great, but they're making it safe. Megatron can also use his gun barrel that you'd shove on his back as a second gun, if you really want to. He's a little taller than Studio Series Optimus Prime, not by much. I think by an okay amount to make him, a little bit more intimidating and imposing. He does have the hip design, which I fucking hate. I don't like the hips. I wish this design for hips would go away, but it seems to be fucking popular at the moment with the Japanese designer who just keeps putting in more and more and more figures. It's not a huge kill point for me, but it's one of those things. My main a minor gribble as well is it's got a lot of like greebly details on it. A lot of greebly details. Prime doesn't really have a lot of extra over-the-top details on his body. Not really. He's got a few little bits here and there, but not really. Megatron has a lot. Obviously, in the movie, his shins are smooth, his thighs are smooth, his forearms are smooth, and his shoulders are smooth as well. But on this toy, they've all got just like random bits of detail and shit on. That's not really my flavor of things. I'm sure it's there just to spice up the visuals of the figure, but it's just extra nonsense for no good reason, at least from my point of view. My real sticking point, and again, it is really only a minor one with the robot mode, is the color of the shins, right? And this goes down to one of those things again. What version of Megatron's model sheet are you looking at? This one that they looked at, he has the slightly bluish gray shins, right? Fine. I find it a little bit distracting. I don't think it flows with the rest of the colors too well. I prefer it when his shins are like gray, like a very light metallic-y kind of gray. What you could have done, I suppose, is you could have used the gray that they used for the body, darkened it down for the whole body, and you, not by a huge amount, just by a little bit, and then use that gray for the shins, just again to break it up. I don't think it's awful. It's again a very minor complaint, and it's not an issue that's going to put me off the figure, but it is one of those things where it's just, for me, it's a little off, and I look at it and I'm like, it's just slightly, just slightly weird to look at least by my eyes. He seems to be reasonably similar scale to the Fallen Megatron's Prime, similar-ish. Obviously much bigger than the Transformers 1 Megatron that's out. And then they've got him stood next to the Masterpiece one for these images. I will give the credit here. I think the proportions are a little bit better on the Studio Series than the Masterpiece. I like the shins being thicker. On the Masterpiece, they're a little bit too thin. On the Studio Series, they've been thickened up, so it makes it look a bit more heroic in proportion and whatnot. However, I think the proportions on the arms are a little bit small. If we look at like chest scale to arm length and like girth ratio on the Masterpiece, I think it's got that a little bit better done than the Studio Series. Studio Series, again, not bad. And again, the Masterpiece, not bad in terms of the scale. Just a little bit, it's like he's got better legs, but the Masterpiece has a better torso, I think. At least that's my opinion. Obviously, if you might disagree, that's okay too. A few action poses. I want to talk about that later. I think there was an image of him with Siege Megatron, wasn't there? Wasn't there an image with him with Siege Megatron? Because I thought that was an interesting thing to stack them against each other. No, was I crazy, chat? Am I insane? I must be insane. Or it's an image I saw somewhere else. This is a big step up in terms of robot mode over the previous one. But let's talk about the thing I really don't like about this toy. It's the tank mode. If you say this is a great figure, I would say in robot mode. I would agree. It's very good. If you think the tank mode is good, I think you're insane. I think you are drinking the Kool-Aid. The tank mode, remember this is leader scale, is crap. It doesn't look like a tank. It looks like an amalgamation of parts to sort of form kind of a thing that you go, yeah, it's a tank. It's got tank treads. It's got a thing that kind of looks like a tank turret, but the robots in disguise. You look up to Optimus Prime, the Commander Optimus Prime, and you have him transform into a truck mode. He looks like a truck. You have Megatron transform into a tank, and it looks like this. We've got big, massive gaps all over the tank mode. We have very obvious blue shins, or bluish-gray shins on the back of the tank mode. Again, for a tank mode that's meant to be all gray, very obviously breaks up. The tank turret is obviously his fusion cannon, which runs through the center of the turret itself. So it looks weird. We can tell that the side of these are his forearms. And then we have the gun barrel that would stick on the back of Megatron, just stuck into the cannon to extend it to make it look a bit more long and girthy. And then we also have the shit part, which the Megatronus tank mode did as well, which is when you rotate the turret, it rotates at this really weird angle. It should rotate in the center, but it doesn't. It rotates in the center at the back. Right? If you imagine the turret of the tank, they have the pivot point not in the direct center of the turret. They've got it in the center, but then shunted backwards. So it's at this weird pivot point, which looks weird. So when you turn the turret, it looks odd. And again, it reveals just how gappy the toy is and how not smooth it is. It looks weird. It looks ropey. I'll give it to them. At least they've shoved some wheels into him, so he should, in theory, roll a little bit in tank mode. That's nice. And the underside is reasonably clean. But again, I think this tank mode is bad. I thought the Nemesis Prime tank mode was bad, but at least you could kind of brush that off as, oh, he's not really a tank. He's this weird space tank thing from the past. Yeah, whatever. But Megatron he was never going to be a gun. I know he was never going to be a gun. I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. Is it a shame he was never going to be a gun? Yes. Did he have to be a really crappy looking tank? Well, that's the question. However, I will say, because I watched the video of them doing the transformation to make him into the tank mode, I think the actual transformation process looked good. I think the transformation didn't not look fun. That's a bad way to phrase that sentence. But you know what I mean. I don't think it looked like a bad transformation. I just think that the end product of that is not great. I think it's not great, especially if I wish we had like a side-by-side of Megatron's tank mode and Optimus Prime's. We do. Like, if we look at this image, look at the truck mode for Optimus Prime. That's an incredible truck. I look at Megatron, and you go, that's a tank. And you go, ah. We've had deluxes that do tank modes better. Granted, it's not super fair to compare them, but let's do it. Warpath. The last Warpath figure we had, much better tank mode than this. Much better. Why is it not a fair comparison, you say? Well, because like the turret is his chest. So they're able to finagle a bit. But I hope you understand what I mean when I say I think the robot mode's really good. I think the tank mode's really crap. But I think the engineering behind the tank mode is okay. Or looks fun. And like I say, I get really annoyed when I see people just endless praise without any thought about any of the other aspects to the figure. You know, just look at the tank mode and go, is this really good? Music Man says it's funny that the only good tank mode in recent memory was Quake. Quake's not even a good tank mode, is it? Quake is Quake a better tank mode than this? No. I don't think it's close. I think in all honesty, Megatron's tank mode, Studio Series 86 Megatron, and the Legacy Quake are both flawed tank modes. They're flawed in different ways. Like the Quake just forms kind of a brick of a tank, but he has a proper turret. Oh, Music Man says at least the turret was optional. The turret was optional, yes. The turret looked like a turret. It didn't function super well as a turret, and it was just like a piece that you slapped on over the top, but it had a cleaner look. The problem with Quake's tank mode was he's just a giant rectangle with awkward treads and a slightly awkward turret. He looked like a weird tank. Megatron has a more normal-looking shape of a tank, and then this just fucked up lazy turret on top with gaps. One thing, I guess you could say one thing Quake has over the Megatron is it's not gappy. From what I remember, it's fairly like tight and compact together. But it's ugly as fuck. It's a really ugly tank mode. I'm still going with. I'm gonna check. I think Kingdom Warpath is probably the best tank we've had in a while. Warpath. Yeah. Look at yeah. You look at the Warpath tank mode. It looks like a tank. It looks like as it should. Again, for a deluxe figure, that looks like a tank. It's got a good turret. It's got a good tread ratio. It's got a nice solid bumper, whatever the front of a tank's called. It's not very gappy. And obviously it makes a decent robot. As I say, it's not entirely fair because obviously his torso is an entire turret. But you see what I'm saying, right? I don't think I'm being harsh on Megatron. I don't think I'm being overly critical. Because I do, like I say, I do like the robot mode. But fuck that tank mode. Woof. Woof, I say. Woof. Right. Anyway, apart from that, I'm sure we'll get a knockoff Megatron in the future to go along with the Prime. If you want a gun Megatron as well, there is, what was it? Is it New Age Romulus? It's something Romulus. A company's done a figure that's a Megatron called Romulus that transforms into a gun. I'll mention the things I like and don't like between those very briefly. Obviously, that Megatron can transform into a gun. The big issue I have with it compared to the Studio Series Megatron is that in robot mode, it has a lot of obvious like panel flaps. Where in robot mode, you like in the forearm, it's got a cut. It's got a big joint, so because you can tell that the arm panel flips up and folds around and does all that kind of stuff. So it's not as clean as Studio Series Megatron, but because it transforms less, it's cleaner. Right? Okay, that's Studio Series Megatron. Sorry, Hasbro guys, you're going to be talking about this figure on Tuesday or Wednesday, and have effectively nothing interesting to say that people don't already know. Who would care? Right? So, next up we have Studio Series, not Studio Series, I'm stupid, San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive Void Runners Jetfire with Darak and Soliliblia, people from the comic. So, yeah, it's the Skyfire Jetfire toy we've had before with two individual characters who I don't know, nor do I care for. I'll give them quite a nice box. I think the box for this, for a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, it's pretty nice. It's a good display option, all that jazz. Doesn't show Jetfire in his robot mode, but it's Jetfire Skyfire. You can probably guess what he looks like. Actually, not even a good zoom in of the figures themselves, oddly enough. But there you go. If you're deep into the comics, for whatever reason, this might be a thing you're interested in. If you didn't get the initial release of Jetfire and you're like, man, I'd like a more expensive version than the one that's probably on eBay at the moment. Again, this is an option, so that's a thing you can do. And the last bit of news that we have for the week, before I talk about Marvel stuff briefly, is if you're going to TFCon Chicago, Darren Norris is going to be there, the voice of Knockout from Transformers Prime, and apparently Heavy Load in Transformers Robots in Disguise, the original one, 2001 Robots in Disguise. Cool dude, good voice. You like Dan Norris, go and say hello. Have a good time, even if you're in Chicago. So that's all the Transformers news. I'll briefly mention the other Hasbro stuff that I thought was pretty cool, which was the fact that they're doing the Gamerverse line for their Marvel Legends stuff. So they're doing 2 packs of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Where's your curly mustache at? I'm going to take you for a ride. I can't remember any of the memes from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The first 2-pack was a brand new Wolverine, which confused me because I was like, is it brand new? Apparently it is. Compared to the other few Wolverines we've already had recently. And a Silver Samurai, who seems to be mostly the same as the previous Silver Samurai, apart from a few new bits and more importantly, a new head. This is probably going to be the most sought after set because it's Wolverine. Wolverines go pretty quickly. It's classic Wolverine as well. It looks very cool. The problem with it is it's £60, $60, 60 pounds. Yes, that's right. They are still just changing the dollar to a pound sign. So it means for us, technically it's $81. Please consider. Does come with cool effects parts. I will say that. I thought this... I think I've heard Marvel people, collectors, say that this is the first Wolverine masked helmet or face that has the kind of teeth-grinding grrr kind of look, which is kind of weird to think about because Wolverine's generally growly, as far as I'm aware. He has normal hands. He has clawed hands. He has schnicked slicing effects, and Silver Samurai has his weird... translucent shuriken thing and a stand as well. The claw effects are able to peg together in a big X sign, which is very cool, very reminiscent of game special attacks. Again, like I say, very, very popular set, I think. I think this one will more than likely just sell out. And I'd like it, but again, man, I feel like I'll be sucking cock if I'm going to buy a £60 2-pack. That means each figure is £30. That's a lot. I realize they come with extra effects and stuff, but if it does feel like I'm getting pegged a little bit like that. And I'm not into that. That's not my jam, I'll be honest. Simon Tang says Psylocke and Thanos is sold out. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the next set to talk about. So the next set, as Simon mentioned, is Thanos and Psylocke. So the figure nobody cares about in this set, unfortunately, is a redo of Thanos. The Thanos has already came out in his classic version. This is the orange and blue version with the slightly more pointed ears on his hat. No one cares about this, I'll be honest. This is not the version of Thanos I care about, that's for sure. The thing people care about in this set is Psylocke. This is the first Psylocke we've had, or people have had in a long, long time. It's using the newer female body, so it's posable. It's still not like the best thing ever in terms of like female action figures. Like Jada Toys have better action figures for females, but this is the best one. I think the thing that's interesting about this is the head sculpt. The head sculpt is done to look like their standard releases of figures, right? So it looks like a realistic-y kind of Psylocke figure that you would expect to see in the standard Legends line. Whereas I think it should look more like the video game version, because we got a new head for Silver Samurai, which looks, I guess, more cartoony, right? The new head looks more cartoony versus the original head. The Psylocke, to me, the head doesn't match what I would expect a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 version of Psylocke to look like, right? Let me get an image of what Psylocke look. I mean, everybody who's watching the stream probably knows what Psylocke looks like from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom Psylocke. I'm sure everybody knows what Psylocke looks like in Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel superheroes, etc., etc. Where it is, but it's always good to have a visual reference. Okay, so this is what she looks like. If you want to go for the bigger version of the pixel art, that's what she looks like there. You know, there's the drawn version of her as well, which is a bit different as well compared to the artwork. And then we again look at the toy version that we have, and it's not the same. It's a bit of a shame. Everybody's going to buy it anyway because it is literally the best Psylocke figure that has been out in quite a while. She comes with a Psylocke blades, a little stabby Psylocke blade as well. The butterfly effect, she's got some I'm going to shove my fingers into your poo hole and rub your prostate fingers design as well. An extra head. Like you can tell, to me, this set says Psylocke. Oh, and featuring Thanos. It's the Psylocke figure featuring Thanos as an accessory. You know, because what does Thanos come with? Nothing. He comes with nothing new. He comes with the Infinity Gauntlet clicking finger hand, which was already made, and he comes with the closed fist hand, which was already made as well. He comes with nothing. So, like I say, this is the Psylocke bundle to milk a bit more money out of you. That's what it feels like. Bit of a shame, bit annoying, but that's how it goes. I would skip this set personally, because if the Psylocke was closer, I'd be more interested. But like Simon said, the figure's gone, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway. I'm sure, like I say, this is going to do fine. It's going to sell. We've got probably the set that is going to go on sale the hardest. This set's not going to do well, I don't think. I could be wrong. I could be sucking sausages here, but I don't think War Machine versus Omega Red is going to do desperately well. As far as I know, well, again, these are using two old molds that have been slightly retweaked, like the Silver Samurai. I don't think there's anything super new here. I heard people say that at the very least they should have given Omega Red bendy wire tentacles versus the wires cables that he came with many, many years ago. That would have been a nice upgrade at the very least, but they have given him, I think, a new head and new shoulder pads. But apart from that, he's just going to be rocking that body, which I think that's the Sabretooth body. They should have just filled in the pinholes, though, at the very least. There's no reason for that. And the War Machine, yeah, you know, it's War Machine, whatever. What do you think of the new Marvel vs. Capcom video game anime? Oh, you mean what was it? Token, whatever that one is. I like the art style. I disapprove of having Ms. Marvel because I think Ms. Marvel's ass. She's always been a shit character who Marvel have desperately tried to push. They've pushed her as hard as they fucking can, and it feels like she's never taken off. Like, no one gives a fuck about her, in my opinion. But apart from that, the game looks interesting. I said this because I did streams recently talking about all of the PlayStation coverage, the Xbox coverage, the Game Fest stuff. So if you want to check them out on my Decade Andy channel on YouTube or here on Twitch, you can do, or as long as they're up. Yeah, I think they need to have a lot more characters. They've currently only shown 8, and since it's a 4 versus 4 tag team, you need a lot of characters to make up for the fact it's 4 versus 4. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was 3v3, but they had a fuck ton of characters. Now, granted, they used a lot of sprites and assets from loads of fucking previous games from Capcom, so it makes sense why it was easy to do and just tweak the numbers for them. But you know what I mean? They need to have a big lineup of characters. Big lineup. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. Ark's a really good game developer for fighting games, so I'm sure it will be a good game when it comes out as well. But yeah, the Omega Red War Machine, yeah, that's don't buy that. Don't pre-order that day one. I don't want to guarantee it will go on sale, but this is going to go on sale. I'm pretty sure. Next up is a pretty cool set that will probably sell pretty well, to be honest. It's Captain America and Blue Venom. Blue Venom with a new head, using the Venom body from the Spider-Man wave and the 3-pack, whatever that 3-pack was with Riot. It wasn't Scream. It was Riot, the pink one, and Venom. It's that body mold. Captain America, I think, is using the last mold, but in different colors. He's looking really good. It's the first Captain America in a while that doesn't have a broken shield. He's got the Stars on Stripes effect for the shield, which not great, but it's okay. And young Edward Brock is using the head from that 3-pack, which is like the Eddie Brock half goobly flubled head up. So it looks quite good. I think this is a decent set. It's a very blue set, like color scheme wise, maybe a little too blue. But I think the head sculpt's really good. It's a shame they don't give you an extra black version of the head that comes here with Venom, so you could put it on your Spider-Man figure. But you know, Hasbro's not really into doing that kind of thing. But I think this is a solid set. I would be tempted for this at the very least, because yeah, Blue Venom, cool. I would have really liked, but I realized that would be out of Hasbro's modus operandi of giving more to their customers than they would be.
You are. You're just in
Oh,
time.
thank you for the follow. Damn. Thank you very much. I would have really liked the big hand symbiote thing, you know, when he does the heavy attack forward and it has a big symbiote bite. That would have been quite cool. Or the big super move where he has the tentacles, the big symbiote goo come across the floor. That would have been a nice effect as well, like maybe like bits of goo coming out of a floor effect. That would have been nice, but again, like I say, that's not in Hasbro's wheelbarrow of how they do things. Fine, whatever. I think it's a cool looking set. I don't think it's a day one sale. It might drop into the sales category. I could see that potentially. Maybe. It says mainline retail as well. I could see that going mainline retail. It's interesting that the Psylocke isn't mainline retail, because I think that was the guarantee sale. I could see why you'd put this mainline retail as well. Venom, you know, Captain America, but not Psylocke. That's an interesting choice. Now, for another interesting figure, they did Shumagorath, who they seem to not have the license for its true name, as they're calling him Gargantos. I remember when they called him Gargantos in the nightmarishly terrible Multiverse of Madness. Shumagorath, I'm shocked they're doing one, because this is a weird figure. I would argue he's not in the correct colors. He's a little too dark green for his video game counterpart. He was quite a bright lime green, to be honest, but fine. This is probably one of the few ways you're going to get Shumagorath out. It feels a little bit like Psylocke when they've done a standard Marvel release version of a character and just kind of shoved it here, if you know what I mean. All bendy wires, pretty much, for his tentacles. Bendy wires make me nervous, especially this many, but I don't know how else you do Shumagorath. Cool thing about him, obviously, for those not aware, I really like his eye. The actual detail on the eye is really cool. It's a posable eyeball, and the eyelids both individually open and close as well. So you can, it's a super expressive little figure. And look at that. That's the I don't give a shit kind of look. Or like, you've told a bad dad joke and Shumagorath is not happy. he's just mildly tolerating your existence. So it's not a figure I care about, but I think kind of looks cool, you know? It's like, it's okay. He's very much out of scale, again, with the video game characters, though. Because he would have been, like, height-wise, just the same size as Captain America, but they've done him as a proper version of the character, I suppose. He also comes with his little ball, which was a move in the game where he threw out these little mines, I think. But he's very expressive. Like him a lot. Not one that I'd get, but he's neat. Simon says, is it weird that there are a lot of Target and Walmart exclusives to drive foot traffic to physical locations? Is it weird? Not really weird, because Hasbro's always does like exclusives with Walmart and Target. I expect they have some sort of premium, like there's a deal where Walmart probably give them money of some description or give them a discount to put stuff on their shelves. Something like that. You give us maybe it's not that they pay Hasbro to do exclusives. Maybe it's more of a fact that maybe we give you a discount to put your shit on our shelves if you give us some exclusives. Might be something like that, maybe. But yeah, the big one that I really want, who's going to be expensive, he's probably going to be like something stupid. He's going to be like 60 quid on his own, is the fucking Juggernaut. They showed the old Juggernaut that came with Colossus, which is okay. And then they showed Big Boy Juggernaut, the biggest boy. My only concern, because I don't think if this has been told, is I know that the Hulk Maximum figure has like a rubbery chest piece, right? Which I think is kind of shitty. I wonder if the Juggernaut has the same rubbery chest piece. I'm hoping it's hard plastic, because I don't know why you'd want a rubbery chest piece. I'm hoping it's solid, but I think in terms of looks, for a fucking Juggernaut, I think this looks really good. Like, really good. They've shown him in the jumpy pose. Apparently his knuckle leather wraps are removable if you want. And he also has the weediest little punch effect. It's not great. I would have preferred him to come with like a giant girder or a pipe, like a big old pipe. I think that would have been better. But yeah, I think this looks like a really cool Juggernaut figure, to be fair. To be fair, this Juggernaut is in scale to the video game version, because the Juggernaut in that game is fucking massive as well. As a lineup, when you have them all lined up next to each other, they look great. Even the boxes look great. It would be good if they did a 2-box set of Cable and what's the name? What's the name? Marrow. You know what's funny? The Spiral was in Marvel vs. Capcom, but they didn't show Spiral. Does that mean a future 2-pack is going to have Spiral in it? Is that crazy to think? I don't think so. Because Spiral was in the game and looked pretty much you could put the Spiral figure with this lineup and it would be right. Is Spiral a 2-pack with someone? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I would have liked to have gotten the Cable figure, but by the time I got interested and saw it and went, oh, well, I'd like it. It was gone. It's like, shit. I would like to have gone that Cable figure. Now he's silly expensive, and I'm not willing to pay silly money for that shit. You know, I'd rather pay like retail prices for Jada toys than I would do Hasbro figures, because you get way more with the Jada toys. Simon says, I think the rubber is to allow the figure to have buttery joints for the shoulders. Simon, do you know if we have a confirmation if the Juggernaut has rubber boobs, or is his boobs hard plastic? Again, like I say, I assume there'll be rubber boobs like Maximum Hulk, but I'd be happy if I'm wrong. Jay Getter, I can't read, says store exclusives are nothing new. Even Toys R Us and KB had exclusives. Yep, very true. Very true. I just wonder if it's, like I say, is it that the stores pay them, or is it a discount on the store shelves? Like I say, I assume it's probably a discount of some description for putting their shit on their shelves, I guess. Music Man says Thanos just looks out of place in this lineup. You think so? Why do you think Thanos looks out of place? I think he works. I mean, you could argue he should maybe be more orange, because like Thanos was super fucking orange in Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, it was weird how orange his orange bits were. But no, I think Thanos makes sense. I mean, he was in the game, so it's who you use. I think the important thing is, I know they can't do it, but I would personally be like, here's Jada Ryu, here's Jada Ken, here's Jada Dalsum, because Dalsum's out, you know. Jada Toys needs to get on and get more of the Capcom license, you know, do, what was his name? Captain Commando. They need to do Tonbot. They need to. I'd really like Jada Toys to get the license for SNK, so we can have Terry Bogard, so we can have the Capcom versus SNK lineup, and then we can have what's his name? The guy that says predictable, the main boss of Terry Bogard's game from the first one, who died. It's like the M. Bison of that game. Predictable. I like that guy. For me, he's the Bison of that game series. Rugel's fine. I like Rugel, but he's a bit on he looks like a Streets of Rage like boss, like just end of game boss. I like the other guy who I can't remember his fucking name of more. And yeah, SNK Marvel. Capcom versus SNK, or SNK versus Marvel, whichever one it was, too, was really fun. Geese, thank you. Geese Howard. I love Geese Howard. When I got Tekken 7 and I saw Geese come out, he was the only DLC I bought, because I was like, I love Geese. Predictable. Yeah, he had another line as well, which I liked. But yeah, I'd love Jada Toys to get that license. I'd really like it for them to get that. They're not getting Mortal Kombat, which is a shame. Because unfortunately, isn't it like McFarlane has the Mortal Kombat license, which is just like, oh, Christ. Oh, but McFarlane make cheaper toys. It's like, yeah, but they're shite. The McFarlane toy line's fucking terrible. They're so bad. I'd rather pay more and give it to Jada. Jada at the moment, I know, have they're finishing off the Street Fighter line. The UK does not have Saga and Blanca. We're not getting them till like September. We're not getting them for a while, which is crazy. And Vega, we're not getting Vega for ages as well. It's nuts. I know they're doing the serial stuff, as in the like Frosty, Tony the Tiger, and they've got Scooby-Doo, and I'm like, I don't want that stuff. Oh, they've got Cyberpunk as well, and I fucking hate the Cyberpunk anime. I think it's shit. I'm like, get SNK, get more video game shit. You've got Mega Man as well, you know, but you don't. Do they have the right Mega Man? Is Mega Man? No, they have the right Mega Man. No, did they have the right Mega Man? What was the Mega Man design that they used in Marvel Superheroes? Marvel vs. Capcom Superheroes. Was that the Jada Toys Mega Man that they're using, or was it a different Mega Man? Because there've been a load of Mega Mans over the years. I think it's slightly different. I think he's slightly more boy-shaped than like little rounded, tiny, squished, super deformed Mega Man that we see. I think it's a slightly different design. I don't know. Jay says, the only Capcom characters I used in those games were Ryu and Mega Man. Most of my lineup consisted of Marvel characters. Did you ever play like the Children of the Atom? What was it? Marvel vs. X-Men, Marvel vs. Capcom Superheroes. You know, the ones from the collection that I've got coming to me that should come in like 3 months' time or something, because it was £20 finally. Those games were all really cool. Those games were really fun. And who is the Cactus? The Cactus guy, I liked playing him. I thought he was pretty fun. I mean, there's some broken... I mean, you know there's some broken shit in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's what makes it fun. You know, it's a fun, stupid game. Exelhead says, but Andy, Rebecca is awesome. Rebecca? Rebecca? What do you mean Rebecca? Please remind me, Exelhead, of Rebecca. I'm trying to think who you mean by Rebecca. I always wanted to be good with Jill, because I thought she was really interesting that she could summon zombies, birds, and dogs. Very silly, and can summon the tyrant. That was always pretty fun. I'm not sure. I don't think she was desperately, quote-unquote, good. Like, I don't think she was a top-tier, broken fucking character. Doctor Doom was one of those top-tier fucking good characters, though. Same for Storms. Well, I think Storm's one of the broken characters. Damn. But yeah, again, I'd like to get Silver Samurai Wolverine set, but spending $81 for the set, £60, is rough for me to justify, you know? So, I don't know. I'd like to get the Juggernaut, but the Juggernaut's probably going to be, again, like I say, 60 or more pounds, which is rough. But I think it's an interesting lineup at the very least. And that's it. That's it. I would tell you what I've been up to this week, but it's time. Well, I'll briefly tell you. I got the upgrade DNA designs kit for Dino King, which I haven't added yet. I got the DNA upgrade kit for Vector Prime, which I haven't added to him yet. I decided to finally bite the bullet, even though she wasn't on sale, and get the Jada Toys Cammy, who I haven't finished yet. And I've also been playing, because I got it, because I wanted a fun game to play. I got Metamorpho Refantasia on Steam. I would describe that game as, do you like the Persona games? You like Persona 5? Then you'll probably like how Metamorpho Refantasia plays, because it plays exactly the same. It's a social link system. You go into dungeons, manage your days, that kind of stuff. The combat system tweaked but similar. Excuse me. But yeah, it's good. I like it a lot. I think it's really fun. You might not be super enthralled by the story. It still feels like I'm really early in the story, but I'm sure I'll be into it by the end. It's just fun at the moment. Oh, Cyberpunk for better. Okay, but Andy, Rebecca is awesome. Yeah, I like I say, I didn't like Cyberpunk. I thought it was way overhyped. I thought it had a really fast, flat ending, which is very... It was done by the people that do Darling in the Franxx and all that kind of stuff, and they can't pace a story out to save their fucking life. They make very nice animation, but they cannot pace a story to save their life. Their pacing in stories is abysmal. Abysmal. Now, granted, Darling in the Franxx, they had a split with the company, but generally across the board, Trigger do a story. It's usually rushed at the end. Like, everything's crammed into the last 1 or 2 episodes. The Beastars, there was a show where they did a Beast anime as well. It wasn't the one with the fox, the wolf boy that all the girls coom over. It was the other one with the raccoon girl, right? They did that, and again, that was another anime where they shoved all of the fucking plot right at the end of the series. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's crazy. She's a cyberpunk edge runner chick that goes splat. Spoilers, splat at the end of the anime. Did she go splat? Yeah, you're probably right. I don't care about cyberpunk. Again, I thought it was pretty. I thought the anime was pretty. Simon asks about the HasLab rumors for G.I. Joe, the Snowcat. The Snowcat is a G.I. Joe vehicle, therefore it can go fuck itself. You know, I don't care about the Joes. The Joes are boring. The Joes are lame. The Joe can sniff my taint. It is a classic G.I. Joe vehicle. Yeah, I'm sure people would be happy to have it. I keep thinking to myself, do I cancel my studio? Well, it's not really. I don't think it's HasLab technically. Is it? I keep thinking whether I should cancel the Sentinel from X-Men 97 or not. I'm in two minds about it. I do want it because it is the classic X-Men cartoon designed for a Sentinel. But then I'm like, will it come with a fuck ton of problems? Like a lot of QC issues happen with HasLab stuff. Or do I cancel it and save like £100 and something and then regret not getting it because I do really want it? I'm in 6 and 2/3 about it. I might, if I just leave it and pretend it's not a thing, then I'll get it and be like, oh shit, well I guess I've spent the money. Which is probably what I'll do, to be honest. Music Man says Studio Trigger, just put the run in, the run in Edge Runners. Gotta run to the end. Gotta waste time, baby. I keep wondering if I should play like Cyberpunk Edge Runners since the game is apparently now fixed and not fucking broken anymore. I keep wondering if it's a game that I should like actually play. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really feel I need to play a game where you can design your penis at a character creation screen, you know? That to me just goes, you know, why? Why do you get to customize it? It's weird. Excel Hedge says, does the Snowcat transform into a yodeling Decepticon? No, then I don't want it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be your boy Cyclonus, unfortunately. Though it would be pretty cool if it did. Simon says, my HasLab Omega Prime is okay. Oh, that's good to hear. Isn't DNA doing an upgrade kit for that figure? I think that you can do to switch parts around and make it not explode. I think they are, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm glad yours is not fucking broken. I'm very happy if everybody who's listening to the stream, watching the stream, or will in the future, or knows someone who can hear this, I hope your Omega Primes are okay. I think it's fucking stupid that Hasbro makes a premium price toy and still has QC issues. That is fucking baffling. For the amount of money that you're made to pay for these things. It's baffling. But I guess that's how Hasbro works as a company, unfortunately. Hasbro is man. If there was an option to switch to a different company, oh man. I don't know who I'd switch to be honest. Like Mattel? I don't know. Maybe Hasbro's the best of a bad bunch, but yeah, as a company, I'm not a big fan of Hasbro, which is why I'll never get send free stuff, and I'll never appear on their HasLab announcement things like other people. You'll never get me on an announcement saying, "Now look at this really cool toy coming in the future." I'll be like, "Look at this toy. I hope it's not shit." You can't say that. Yeah, but it's how I feel. DNA was smart. Smart, they would give us a TIE figure. A TIE figure with their replacement. That would be a good idea. I don't think they are, though. If they haven't already. If they haven't done an upgrade kit already. I suppose doing an upgrade kit for like a HasLab figure is like monetarily kind of risky, right? Because the pool of people who have that figure is limited. Just by the very nature of what it is. It's not on a mass market kind of thing. And the amount of people who buy DNA toy upgrade kits also has to be reasonably limited. So you're going for a limited market of a limited market. So maybe they won't. Maybe they will. Maybe they have, and I'm stupid. I'm happy to say that. Either way, we're going to be going, chat. Thank you very much for coming on by. Remember, if you want to check out me talking about the Games Fest stuff that's been on recently. It's all on my Decayed Andy channel, whether that's on Twitch or YouTube, Decayed Andy, rotten flesh of a human being, not 10 years period kind of deal. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. As I mentioned, we are on Facebook and YouTube and lots of other places as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can join us here live on a Sunday at 9:30 in the evening UK time, whatever that is for you, where you come from. We'll be back next week with maybe more toy news. I think it really depends on what they show on whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday. It really depends what they show. Because it could just be that their big announcement was going to be Megatron and they've got nothing else to show. Apart from maybe some still images of like drawings of characters who are coming, you know. If they've got more than that, great. If it's just that, it'll be me and Big D talking about the movie toy line. If there's something of substance next week, which I hope there is, we'll be back for news next week. Either way, we're on ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to find us that way. Thanks very much for coming on by, everybody, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.